All right, let's fucking go, baby.
Good morning. Happy Monday. What the hell is going on today? But this is the Pitch Strike Chronicles. I will test. I deal with the handsome dollar fix in his hair. Don't get in my face. He hasn't gone bald yet. And, watching the team this season, Donald should be bald. For most stress putting hair. But nonetheless, look, we are only 3 games out of first place. We have ourselves back into the divisional race. And I'm curious now as we get news of players and healthy. Rodon's back on the mound for his second start back. Bellinger is back. We got positive news from Judge. We're going to try to get into the Stanton stuff as well. If he plays his last game as a Yankee, as he injures the other hamstring now, the other hamstring. And it's just a true volume to whether it's on the IL, feed, have it. There's a true volume to our guys on the IL, but they still, it seems like with the presence of Lombard Jr., Ben Rice getting back to his rhythm, and Spencer Jones, there's no life to this team, bro. This team can actually, there is the window now for them to pull this off and win the division. It is now in the grasp of reality that they pulled off something that you and I both said was not even a question. With the division, that was just about matter of securing the #1 wild card spot for home field. They can actually pull this off. So
I don't know what's going on here. I can't hear a word you're saying, bro. I'll go. Voice is choppy. I can't hear a word you're saying. Again. FJ singing voice is choppy. I can't really hear a word you're saying.
All right, take it away, Donald.
Yeah. Well, the Yankees are coming back, baby. The Yankees are coming back, which is great. Cut the lead to just 3 games, and they're winning a lot of games. Yeah, John the Beagle Dad, we back. The Yankees are winning a lot of games. I have to give them a ton of credit. I really think that guys like Spencer Jones have been a big key to this resurgence, and Lombard as well has just been amazing. And the pitching's just been amazing. It really has. But it was a good offensive showing. Trent Grisham came up in the clutch. Ben Rice is always going to be Ben Rice. It was good to have Cody back in the lineup. Spencer Jones was excellent. Jazz had a big home run. Some really quality at bats, and once again the pitching just held it down. So there's a lot of credit has to be given to this Yankee team. They show a lot of fight, considering the circumstances, because they continue to get hit in the face with new injuries, new problems, but they keep coming back, and that's a really good sign. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, they got a situation where they had the bases loaded, nobody out. Then they had 2 quick outs. Caballero had a rough at bat where he just kind of popped it up to center field, and it looked like the Yankees had screwed that inning. But then Trent Grisham comes up, draws a walk, and then Ben Rice comes up with the basic clear single, and that's it. So shout out to the Yankees, man. They deserve a ton of credit for their resurgence, for their determination on a game by game basis, because this is no small feat. The Orioles beat up on the Rays, and then the Blue Jays beat up on the Rays, and the Yankees have beaten up on both of them. So maybe this Yankee team isn't nearly as bad as we thought. So credit to the Yankees. It would have been a lot easier for them to lie down, but they haven't. So they're still very much in this, and they're very much in the thick of this wild card thing. I still think that the division's probably a little bit too much to ask, but it's possible, and didn't see that happening. I thought the Blue Jays would take care of business. I thought the Orioles would beat the Yankees, and I thought the Yankees would be done. But no, they've shown a lot more heart and determination, and for that they deserve credit.
No, it's yesterday's game. I was at the stadium, and good morning, TC. I wanted to thank TC Steels for connecting big time Jerry and I at this game. He was instrumental to getting me there, but I couldn't miss an opportunity to see him. And, Jerry and I, we were having a great conversation. It was great to see him at the game.
There's something with
And
your
anytime
audio,
I get
man.
to see him,
That's
absolutely
there's something wrong with
phenomenal.
your audio, man. This is
I
this is
really,
not good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't hear a word you're saying, man. This is not
I
great,
don't know what
bro.
to tell you. There should be
Yeah,
nothing wrong. When,
yeah, it's frustrating for Uncle T. I think he's trying everything he can, and he's not able to. He's not able to give us his thoughts, which is really unfortunate. So let's while he tries to get that fixed, let's try and say hello to everybody in the chat. We got John the Beagle Dad. What's good? Got TC Steels. Good to see TC. Excellent to see FJ in there. John the Beagle Dad says, "What a crazy weekend watched." IndyCar with a military flight. Well, that's cool, man. We got yeah, we got Stevie B. What's good, man? John the Beagle Dad describes what the Yankees are doing as spunky. I agree. Yeah, TC Tats, your connection is bad. I genuinely have no idea what's happening behind the scenes with Uncle Ted's computer. But the last couple of shows is just it's not happening for him. So let's see if we can get that fixed. In the meantime, everybody hit the like button and the sub button. And my apologies for the poor quality. That's not good enough. So we try and get that fixed for you. But anyway, these Yankees. What can you say about these Yankees? Yeah. All right. They're surprising me. They are surprising me. Um, I've taken 2 out of 3 so far. The Blue Jays was really impressive. Now they got the Astros coming up, but they deserve a ton of credit for that. They swept the Orioles. That was good work. So yeah, they're kind of on a hot streak. And meanwhile, the Rays are underwhelming right now. They are in a little bit of a slump. It happens. Um, but you know, there is a dampener. There is a damp. It was good to see Joe Barros in the chat. The one major dampener is the Stanton news. The Stanton news is a real dampener. I think what I'm going to do is I'll do a Yankify talk about Big G because I hate to see the hate that he gets online as if it's his fault that he's hurt. Um, it isn't his fault. His body's betrayed him, but he's had so many moments, iconic moments as a Yankee that he deserves a ton of credit. Does that mean that it's probably his career over as a Yankee? Yeah, I'd say 60-70% chance now that it's probably the last we'll ever see Big G, unless the Yankees maybe take a flyer on him next year. But because I think the Marlins will be covering most of his salary next year, but um, or insurance maybe. But I still hate to see that being the end of Big G's career as a Yankee. He was iconic, so many iconic playoff moments. A real leader of men, and for me, actually, a better leader than than Aaron Judge even, just with the way they carried himself. I thought he was great, and he really stepped up whenever the team needed him in big spots. He was just fantastic. It's just heartbreaking to see what's happened to him. So there's no hate from me regarding his injury. Is it weird? Yeah, it's very weird. I don't understand how he keeps getting calf injuries. I don't understand every time he moves, he breaks something. It's really weird. I don't know if he's got a degenerative, like, lower muscle injury or something like that. I don't know if it's degenerative. I don't understand why someone in his condition keeps getting hurt like that. Um, I'll never understand it. I'll never understand how he's had a calf injury for 6 months. Like, that's very unusual for someone in his shape. And he's not in bad shape. He's built like a Greek god, so it's very unusual. And I'll probably never understand it. And I think I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to try and prescribe what's going on there. But all I can talk about is what he gave to us. He gave to us a lot of great moments, a lot of wonderful moments, a lot of iconic moments, and it stinks that this is the end for him, probably. Um, I think what's most likely going to happen now is the Yankees let his contract go, and then they just go and give the job to Luis Garcia next year, and maybe that means that a lot of the time, maybe Aaron Judge might be getting some DH moments as well. It opens up the DH spot. I can see that's what's going to happen next year, personally. Um, but deep down, I hope that the Yankees give him one last shot, just as a prove it, and see what he can do. But um, at least have another option. Yeah, he's built like a tin. All right, we do have an update from Uncle T. Found the problem. My mic burned out. We'll have a new one before the next show. Right. Okay. Well, that makes sense. It's very unfortunate. And again, my sincere apologies to our subscribers and everyone who watches. Obviously, that's not a good thing, but it's not. It can't be helped. It's and I'm sure Uncle Tats will get it sorted. But yeah, that was my thoughts on Big G. I love the guy. He's one of my favorite Yankees. He's my favorite Yankee on the team. Um, for non-pitchers, he's my favorite Yankee. So it sucks that it's the end for him. But I certainly won't be subscribing to any of the abuse that he gets. Um, I don't think he deserves any abuse. I think he can't help being hurt. It is what it is. But um, we move on. Uh, Uncle Tats sends his apologies, my deepest apologies. You all know how much I want to talk with you all. Yeah, definitely, bro. Uh, we definitely want to hear from Uncle T. This is a real bummer. But anyway, so yeah, the big G news is a kick in the teeth, and I think that'll be him for the season. So that's that done. The chances of him turning up in October, I think, are remote at best. Um, Healing Man's Heart says it's all good, Uncle T. We'll catch you next time. There we go. We love you, bro. So I think that means that we have to move with what we have, and it's a shame. It's a shame because his bat is still valuable. So now we have to wait to see what happens with Aaron Judge. I thought Stanton would have been sooner than Aaron Judge, but that's not happening now. So brutal, absolutely brutal news for the Yankees, and it keeps coming with the Ryan Weathers injury. That came out of nowhere. Ryan Weathers was looking great. Ryan Weathers has been in an incredible form of late, and then he gets hurt. It's the Yankees are a little bit cursed right now. Let's be honest, they are a little bit cursed. Um, he's got a forearm strain, and he's hopeful on a 2026 return. Hopeful. So he consulted with team physician Dr. Christopher Ahmad, uh, and it's a left forearm flexor strain. And there is optimism that he can return by the end of the season. Boone says, big picture, obviously really good news. We'll try and let this thing calm down here and hopefully get him back in some capacity before the end. Weather says, I just knew something was off. Kind of didn't feel right. I could have kept pitching, no doubt, but it was like, yeah, this is stupid. This is time to be a competitor, time to be smart. And we're kind of in this vulnerable part of the year where I want to pitch in September and I want to pitch in the postseason. So I thought that was the best option yesterday. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. I think he's been a real competitor, and one of Cashman's only good moves that he's made over the last couple of years was the Ryan Weathers move. So he does definitely deserves credit for the Ryan Weathers trade. Um, he's set a career high in strikeouts with 143 strikeouts in 137 innings. That's really good. Um, he since the All Star break, he's got a 2.27 ERA. That's amazing because he had a 4.15 ERA prior to the All Star break, and since the All Star break, whatever the issue was, he's fixed, and it's just a 2 ERA now. And there's such a difference between what was going on pre All Star break and post All Star break. Pre All Star break, he gave up 16 home runs. Post All Star break, just two. Like whatever it is that he's fixed, whatever mechanics there, um, whether it's working with Garrett Cole behind the scenes, I think they've been really good together. Um, whether it's working with Austin Wells, whether it's Matt Blake and the pitching factory, whatever it is, the post All Star break, Ryan Weathers has been sensational. Ace caliber, actually. A 2 ERA at this stage is really impressive post All Star break, and a career high in strikeouts. I think the injury is not really a surprise. He's had a lot of injuries, and this is well beyond what the normal innings that he normally gives you. So, what this means, I don't know moving forward. I think there's a chance that he'll be fine by September, but maybe he will start being asked to come in long relief or something like that in the postseason because maybe they just don't want to like aggravate the injury. I don't know how they're gonna do this because he is past the innings that he's probably comfortable with, and that's probably why he picked up a small injury. But he's pitched so well, and it is a definite kick in the teeth. When you add that plus the Max Fried injury, I still think that Max Fried injury is pretty serious because that's happened twice now with the very same injury, bone bruise. So the Yankees are kind of up against it again. And with the Stanton news, they are up against it. But they keep fighting, and they deserve a ton of credit for that. More than likely a bullpen spot for Weathers. I agree with you. That's how I foresee it as well. More than likely a bullpen slot for Weathers. Well, that's kind of the update so far. Very good series though. The first game against the Jays I thought was pretty impressive. It was Spencer Jones coming up huge again. Cam Schlittler going 6 innings with just 1 run ball. It wasn't even his best stuff. He gave up 6 hits and 3 walks. But the Blue Jays couldn't put runs across. They had 9 hits and they only scored 1 run, which is unprecedented, really. Yankees got no hits, what at all, really, just 4, but they still ended up winning. So the Blue Jays couldn't take advantage of their numerous opportunities. They wasted so many opportunities, runners in scoring position. It was unbelievable. So they deserve to lose for that. They put a lot of traffic on, but they left a small village on the base paths. So they kind of deserved it, 6 hits off Schlitt in 6 innings, plus 3 walks. Got a hit off Hedrick, got a hit off Blackburn, got a hit off Bednar, and they couldn't do anything. So that's definitely on them. And a shout out to the Yankees because they came up big in the clutch. Basically, all the damage came off Spencer Arrighetti, and a lot of it was because of one Spencer Jones, who continues to defy the odds, and he is making a serious case to be here and be our regular starter. I've always been pro Spencer Jones, so I'm certainly going to talk my shit because the amount of mistreatment he's been getting from the Yankees in prior years, I would say, and I would say the way that the fan base has already kind of gave up on him after his first stint. I'm very happy to see that he has proven them wrong. I think he's been great. I think Spencer Jones has been great. We know he's going to be strike out a lot, but that power is so important. And so he came through in the first game, and they came through again in the last game. He deserves so much credit, man. The guy's been great. So I'm a big Spencer Jones fan. I'm not the biggest Jason Dominguez fan, even though I think a lot of fans would prefer Dominguez to be the one. I think Spencer Jones is better. I like Spencer Jones better. I think he's got better athleticism. I think he can play multiple positions. He can play all three positions in the outfield. He's got a really good arm. He's got speed, and he's got elite power. So I think with his size as well, he's an awkward dude to get out. 7 home runs and 22 RBIs, plus 8 stolen bases is not terrible in a limited sample size. He's barely had over 150 at bats. That's not bad. Now, obviously, he does have a strikeout problem. There are a lot of moving parts with his swing, but when it all comes together, boom, the guy's a monster. So I really, really like Spencer Jones. And I think that he should be a central part of our future. And I would have him as our starter next year. I believe he should be a starting outfielder next year. I don't believe that there's anything that he's proving that he's showing that shouldn't tell you that he's a really good player. Now, obviously, his first time up was bad. Okay, he looked like Joey Gallo 2.0, but he made a lot of good adjustments. And he came the second time he's come up, he's been great. And with a dude that size, 6'7", with that kind of power when he connects, he just needs to connect a little bit more. And we've got ourselves a very, very special player. So I'm hoping that the Yankees like what they see and continue to give him every opportunity. He's gonna strike out, guys. I know it. But over his last 11 games, he has a 300 batting average, including 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, and a 921 OPS. Spencer Jones is here taking names. Really, really happy to see Spencer Jones doing his thing. Judge coming back will doom Jones, though. I hope not. I don't see why that has to happen. Like, for me, there's a couple of ways in which you can do this. For instance, here's like a one way in which they can do it. Aaron Judge comes back. Aaron Judge DHs. Spencer Jones plays right field. That means that there's no pressure on his ribs and maybe diving in the outfield or anything like that. No real risk there. So I think that would be a smart way of doing it, right? Another way in which you do it: Spencer Jones plays center field, Aaron Judge plays right field. Then you can still have Ben Rice and Garcia in the same lineup. That makes sense. And then obviously, you're still going to get at-bats for Trent Grisham and all that stuff, but I think there's definitely ways in which they can make this work. Yeah, Felix Nunez, dude, has a 740 OPS. It's very productive and much more productive in his last 11 games. As I've reiterated, in his last 11 games, he has a 307 batting average with 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and a 921 OPS in his last 11 games. Aaron Boone says he's made good adjustments in the league, and I feel like he has a good understanding of his strengths and weaknesses, had a good idea of his opposing pitcher's strengths and weaknesses, and I feel like for a young player, he's done a good job of making adjustments and applying his experience to help him get better. That's a whole lot of AI-generated crap from Aaron Boone, so I'm not going to listen to anything that he says, but I think Spencer Jones is developing well in this first season. And that's the key, guys. Do you know what? Give opportunity to young guys who deserve it. Give them an opportunity. Give them a run. Give them a run, and he will prove you wrong. Remember, Aaron Boone just tried to make him just simply a platoon bat. Well, Spencer Jones has outperformed that, and now he's pretty much a regular now. Thanks to him, he's done great. Yeah, he is a gamer, and that's a really good point there from Felix Nunez. He is a gamer. He is an absolute gamer. He doesn't take any plays off, and he just wants to win. He wants to win, and I like his mentality. And he's come up in clutch spots, by the way. He is not any kind of he is not a flat track bully. He comes up in the clutch. So I'm a big fan of Spencer Jones. I have always preferred him to Jason Dominguez, and it's not about comparing the two. I'm just saying, like, of the prospects, I prefer Jones. Others prefer Dominguez. I prefer Jones because I like Dominguez's upside, Spencer Jones's upside. I like the fact he can play all three positions. I like his speed. I like his power. His power's better. And I like that he's coming up in clutch spots too. So I think there's a lot to like. I think Spencer Jones is more versatile than Dominguez. Dominguez, I don't even know what position Dominguez can play because he can't play left field. Center field, you don't probably want him out there, and right field, he's not good there either. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whereas Spencer Jones can play all three positions. Yeah, they absolutely will mess up the obvious. I fear to see what happens when Aaron Judge comes back. I do see your point. Like, I know this organization very well, and I'm afraid that they're going to send down Spencer Jones, and I'm going to be really upset because he's one of the key reasons why this Yankee team haven't completely collapsed. I would say him and Lombard have provided so much energy on the offensive end that they are winning more games than they're losing. Essie says Dominguez's position is the Mexican Winter League. That is rough. That is very rough, but not altogether inaccurate. That's why I can't get excited. Donald Boone fumbles how to handle this roster. Oh, that's a given. That's a given. And he will fumble in October. That's a given. But credit where it's due. This Yankee team have won a bunch of games that I didn't expect them to win. I thought the Red Hot Orioles would cause us a problem. Now, having said that, the umpires gave the Yankees one game. I'm guarantee you that Orioles home run, Pete Alonso home run, that would have been the go-ahead home run, the Orioles probably would have won that game. So they got robbed there. Let's just be being completely honest. I think the Orioles got robbed there, and it was a really rough one for them, and completely unacceptable for Major League Baseball to not use the replay accurately. That was a home run. It was a home run every single day of the week. Every single time I've looked at it, it's a home run. It's fair. It's feet fair. Disgraceful that in the modern age of 2026 that they can't get these home run calls right. And again, it's not just the O's that got hosed because Aaron Judge got hosed last year with the same thing. So just calling it fair. I destroyed MLB for robbing Aaron Judge of a home run last year. I'm going to use the same energy and destroy them for robbing Pete Alonso of a home run. I think it was a disgrace and a terrible look for Major League Baseball. And the Yankees got the benefit that they didn't deserve, frankly. The Orioles deserved to win that game. So, but even still, even if you give Orioles that one game, the Yankees still win the series. So, shout out to them for that. And then they've done the same thing with the Blue Jays. Apart from that game where they almost got no hit, they still came back, by the way. Garcia made it interesting. But yeah, the major takeaway is Toronto didn't take advantage of their opportunities. They had like 9 hits and 3 walks, so it's like 12 base runners in the first game that they lost. And then in the middle game, they had 15 hits and they only managed to put together 4 runs. So they just didn't take advantage of their opportunities, their numerous opportunities. So the difference of the series was the Yankees did. The Yankees pitched better, and they took advantage of their opportunities better than the Orioles did. The Blue Jays did. Um, as he says, just put an Apple AirTag in the bags, the balls, and the flagpole, and on the bases. Problem solved. It's an interesting point. Um, and put AirTags in the bats. Check swing solved. Yeah, it's weird. Like they have modern. It's a good point, Issy. I agree. It's very weird. We're in this age where we're now getting instant replay where they can tell between balls and strikes with like half inch, quarter inches, tenth of an inch. They're calling the difference between balls and strikes and modern technology, but you can't call a home run which is fair by about 10 feet. I mean it's a terrible look. And honestly, of all the things they need to get right, it's home runs. That was the thing. That's a big difference, man. That costs that it's costly. That costs games. Maybe it's cost Pete Alonso some money. Maybe it's just it's terrible. You're robbing people of home runs, and that's how you make their bread. You know, power hitters make their bread. So I think it's a disastrous look for MLB, and serious action needs to be taken. I don't understand how they didn't, after looking at the replay, they didn't see that it was clearly fair. But again, it is what it is. Yeah, imagine if that was a playoff game and they missed a home run call. It's just it's a terrible look. And as I say, at least I'm calling it fair. I'm calling it fair. Just because I'm a Yankee fan doesn't mean that wasn't a complete disgrace and a horrible look for MLB. Pete Alonso got robbed, and it robbed the Orioles of a win that would have gotten them right in the heart of the playoff race. So they have got to feel hard done by. I thought that their manager was a complete cuck for what he said afterwards. Like he just didn't show any authority. He should have gone right after MLB for that, but he didn't. And I wonder if the players will be kind of pissed at him for not having his back because um, it was a terrible, terrible look for baseball, and he should have been more forthright. If I was the Orioles manager, I would have would have absolutely roasted them and gotten a fine. I don't care. But yeah, Alonso is having a great year, and I kind of felt bad for him. I think he got screwed. But anyway, that's that's just one call. And as I say, it didn't make any difference because the Yankees still win the series. So the Yankees deserve a ton of credit for what they're doing. Um, they've just been on it. They've just been on it, and I guess I have to give Aaron Boone an element of credit that they are playing some decent ball over the last couple of weeks. And moving forward, we got a heck of a schedule coming up. Astros for 3, Red Sox for 3, for Red Sox for 4 even. Sorry, damn, that's a tough. So the next 7 games are going to be very difficult. Angels should be a bit of a reprieve. Things ramp up again with the Padres, but then a bit of a reprieve against the Rockies, and we should beat the Mets and the Twins. So the Yankees could get fat around about through September until the end of September, where it gets difficult again. But that Red Sox series is huge because if the Yankees continue to play like they usually play against the Red Sox, then they're screwed. So they have to show up, but they also have to show up against the Astros. So we'll see how that turns out. But I have to say credit to the Yankees where it's due. They've been really, really, really good. Mets really dropped the ball letting Alonso go. That's why you can't be obsessed with analytics. All that launch angle crap and all that stuff. It helps to an extent, but they overthought themselves, and it cost them a really good hitter. And I'd said it. I would have signed Pete Alonso in the offseason. And I know I got ripped apart for saying it on here, but I would have signed him. I really like Pete Alonso. I think he's a really good hitter. So that righty bat certainly would have helped us with all these injuries that we had this year. So Turns out I wasn't that wrong. It turns out I wasn't that wrong. Anyway, um, yes, it's also see the Dodgers are taking on water. This whole Dodgers thing is very, very murky, and I do need to investigate this further. It seems like there's some fraud going on. It definitely seems like there is some fraud going on, and I think that's going to really impact their ability to take that next step. Now, I think this might be their height, and then they might have to start moving some players. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Maybe MLB will protect them. In fact, heck, they protected Otani, so maybe they'll protect the Dodgers as well. But anyway, that's off topic. I think Yankified to discuss Big G and other things should be on the docket. We'll see if I can get some time over the next few days to come together to put together a show for you guys. This is a shorter show because Uncle Tats, unfortunately, his mic blew up. So that's why we couldn't understand the word that he was saying. I had no idea what he was saying. Every time he was trying to speak to me off air, I was like, what is he saying? I couldn't work out. So now we understand. Now we understand. So hopefully he'll get that fixed for the next show. In the meantime, thanks for everyone that joined. It's a shorter show. Apologize for that. But we'll see if we can fix all the technical issues for the next one. But you will see a Yakify come up. Check out your schedules, check out your notifications and all that stuff. Thanks so much for everyone that came in. Hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next chat. God bless. Have a great day, guys.